And I especially love the Aquarius talk being about connecting to the cosmic family, and it's the
Yes.
perfect time for us to communicate with the cosmos.
Well, that's what Mary Rodwell's all about. She is they
Exactly.
call her the alien lady. She's the was a nurse. She was English. She moved to Australia, and she just like is the Australian authority on experiencers. What else does she? Everything. I mean, she does hypnosis. She listens to these little star children coming forward and spreading the wisdom that they have brought to the planet. She is such a valuable resource, Mary
Alan, do
Rodwell.
you
And
remember what she told us about space arcs in Manchester? Remember she was mentioning that?
no, what did she say there?
I don't know, there's something
About
about some
space
space
what?
arcs, about some ancient technologies that have been discovered all around the world through archaeological digs. We
Oh,
were only
space
outside with her
arc.
for like 10
Yes.
minutes. So she was,
Yeah. Yes, the arcs. Yes, yes. They're coming out now at this time in history. This is also part of the Aquarian age, is the arcs are reappearing. Is she going to be
yeah.
talking about that?
Yeah, yeah. So
No.
what I want to do, guys, in this time here, this is kind of announcements, Portal to Ascension, what's going on. Our new website is, I just approved it like yesterday, and now it's going to be the launch phase next week. And finally, 3 years, literally 3 years of coding the site, and it's here, and it's going to be amazing. So the site's going to look different, but I want to show you, for all of you who are new, and for those of you who are probably members but haven't actually accessed the website. Again, the face is going to change, but on the Watch Now page right here is where you're going to watch your replay. You're just going to click Watch Now, and it will take you to the videos of this, the replays of the videos. I don't have all my videos in here, and you're just going to be able to watch it here. You have unlimited replay access, and you can also add it to your watch list. You can watch it later. You can come back and watch it anytime. And for upcoming events, you just click Upcoming Events up here. Ascension Academy are for all the older events. So what we're doing is, because tomorrow you're going to get to experience Mary Rodwell. She's doing like an hour and 20-minute presentation. I believe she's the last person. And next weekend is the follow-up event to Mary Rodwell's presentation. So we've kind of funneled it in a way that Mary is the last speaker. She's going to speak about, a lot of her information and awareness. And then this one is past life contact with non-human intelligences. And then we also have Laura Eisenhower, since we're on the topic of galactic astrology. She's actually going to be doing a presentation called Astrology of 2024 and Galactic Awakening. That's going to be the following weekend. But what I really want to show you guys is our second annual conference in Glastonbury. Alan, do you want to talk about this and the experience that we had this last year?
Well, Glastonbury is one of those major chakra activation energy portals on the planet. So when we gather there from around the world, we're coming together as a sort of galactic community. We are activating the portal there. I mean, it's activated all the time, but we're bringing, I thought we brought a whole different energy to Glastonbury, which can be a little uneven sometimes. So a great conference, really intense information, and the people coming this year are fantastic. Tim Tactical, is that how you say his last name?
Tim Tactical.
He is fantastic. He's not come to the U.S., but he's been on Gaia a little bit. I did a great interview with him. He is an insider in the deepest way. He's met ETs. He's been in the presence of that. He has deep information I've not heard anywhere else, Neil. That's what's so fantastic about Tim.
And I have 2 interviews with him I did last month on my channel. Some of the best interviews I've ever done. The conversations that we had, the deep dives into the ET technology, what happened over the last 70 years, and Germany's connection to the secret space program as well. So he'll be joining us. This is going to be his first conference too, Alan, that he's ever spoke at.
Great. Yeah, no, he is a great resource for our community. And it's not just the German governments that he's worked for. It's the whole European Union that he's been a kind of inside agent for. So, yeah, he's great. Who else has come? Laura Eisenhower, of course, we all know. Adam Apollo.
Magenta Pixie.
Amanda Pixie. And who's that other woman? Oh, Maria Wheatley, she is a true gatekeeper. She understands the energetics of Avebury, Stonehenge. She's a great mystic, and she's a great intelligent intellectual mind. So she combines both the science and the mysticism. Maria Wheatley, I'm so happy she's going to be there this year.
Yeah,
That is
and
great.
she actually mapped out the geometry of Glastonbury and Avalon and showed how the ancient druids put certain structures that connected to certain star constellations. So she'll be speaking about that there. But let me just go do an overall picture here before we get into this, okay? So Portal to Ascension, you know, I was born in England, moved to the US, right? Started doing events in the US. But when I had the first download in 2008 to do what I was doing, there was something in the back of my mind that had this feeling that when I go back to the country where I was born and put an event on there, it would be like an end of a karmic cycle. Also, it would be like really amazing to go back to, you know, where it all started and create a gathering. And I finally got to that point last year. So we went to Glastonbury, you know, the whole story of how it happened. We'll do on interviews on YouTube and everything like that. And it was honestly one of the most exciting, fun, interactive, adventurous events I've ever put on. We had, not only did we have the conference that was in like this ancient hall, looked like you were in a medieval King Arthur's castle, but we also did a tour of ancient Avalon the day before. We had this VIP party. We had a cacao ceremony at this apple grove, and Avalon is ancient Druidic, I think, for apple groves. So we did it in an apple grove there, and the way Glastonbury is, like, if you guys aren't aware of the history of Glastonbury, in Glastonbury, there's a ley line that goes from Egypt through the south of France into Glastonbury, and it's called the Michael line. Some people say that there's another line called the Dragon's Ley line as well, and it passes through. You can't even see it. On the back of this sign right here is the Tor, right? Let's do a little show and tell, guys. Let's do this. The Tor Glastonbury. So this thing, right? So the ley lines go underneath this mountain. And back in the day, Avalon, Glastonbury, used to be surrounded by water. And it was actually where, if you know the story of King Arthur actually went to Avalon as he was wounded in a battle to transition into the next dimension. And so Glastonbury was the outpost. Tintagel in Cornwall, where his castle is, which is about 2 hours away from Glastonbury, was where, you know, King Arthur was raised, and Merlin's cave is over there, and where Merlin supposedly taught him. But then Avalon is where he went into the New Kingdom. So not only do we have those ley lines there, but there's actually King Arthur's Abbey within 5-minute walking distance from the event is this megalithic abbey, right? And right there in front of us, you see right there, that's King Arthur and Guinevere's tombs. Okay, so and now some people believe that the monks and the priests of old put it there in order to create a story around King Arthur and Guinevere. Some people believe it actually is them. So what we do is we're going to be doing 2 tours, because we had so many people last time we couldn't fit them all. On the 25th and the 26th, we're doing a tour of Avalon, right? We're going to go King Arthur's Abbey. We're going to go to the Tor, T-O-R, not T-O-U-R, and a few other spots there. And also, we're going to go up to the Tor like we did last time. So we started out on top of this hill with a group of like 60 of us, and we did a whole entire ceremony to the ley lines and to the spirits of the land. Then we walked down the Tor to this area right here where the apple grove is, and we had a cacao ceremony with 60 of us in the cacao ceremony. This was the day before the conference, right before the Avalon Tour. So we're going to do that again this year, but we'll do it 2 different days so we have enough space for everybody. And then we go into 3 days of the conference. And as Alan was sharing, these are some of the speakers that are going to be there at the event. We have Peter Knight and Sue Wallace, who are going to do a Celtic ceremony there. Joan's going to be there. Phil Gruber's coming. And this event, just like, it's right in the center of Glastonbury. So within 5 minutes, you can walk to all these sacred sites. There's even this place here called the White Chalice, Glastonbury. There's pictures of it. This beautiful garden that we get to walk to and go in that has also really ancient connections there. and the water there is high concentration in iron, right? So there's two different water supplies. One has a high concentration in copper, one has a high concentration in iron. One's the divine feminine, one's the divine masculine. And this water also goes underneath, the Tor. And besides all that, there's the story of of Mary Magdalene going and settling there with her children after Jesus died. So there's a lot of sacredness in that area, which is why we chose to do the event there. So our second annual one is going to be September 27th to 29th, 2024. And if you guys come early, you can come early and be a part of the tour there. And if you stay later, we're going to be doing a stone circle tour on the 30th, on the 31st. And on the 30th, we have post-conference workshops with Laura Eisenhower, Tim Tactics, and we also have, who else is doing one? Adam Apollo. He's going to be doing one there too. So it's going to be really fun. Alan, you had a good time, right?
It was great. No, England's great. We actually went to a crop circle. I went to a crop circle when I was out there. They're all in that Glastonbury, Somerset, Wiltshire area. And there's just a lot of energy. It's like everyone's a sort of mystic. All the English people I've met there, they really are open to this in ways that I think other countries are. Maybe some are, but the English definitely are.
Have you been there, Michelle, to Glastonbury?
I haven't, but my home, when people come to my house and see that it's got that castle feel to it, and I have
it feels like that
night. Yeah, a lot of people think that it's King Arthur's got a theme of Avalon and King Arthur, and it kind of does. And my husband definitely has that feel about him as far as his past lives. We've never dug into them, but I've never been, and many of my friends have been there. And when we went to the south of France, we went to an area where my husband was the only one that saw the red fish in the pond. And I remember saying to him, I think this is something for you to explore, this the Arthurian legend, because it does feel like it's in his field. But the way that you explain it with the pictures, even just that is very activating. Yeah. Well, and I could see why it's such a great trip.
This is how it started. This is
that's
us huddling in the beginning, being like, all right, guys, we're about to go on stage. This is 2 minutes before stage. And this is Alan seeing someone take a picture of us.
Aww.
Beautiful smile from Alan. This is the hall we were in. We're going to a bigger hall now. Bigger one next time.
Wow. How many people did you have there?
We were sold out with standing room only. I had to return tickets.
Wow. What was sold out?
The whole event.
200, 400?
No. Well, I wish Glastonbury had a venue that fit 300 people. They don't. 180 is the biggest venue in Glastonbury.
180.
Yeah. So we could fit 180 and we had like 200 and something. So
wow.
Yeah, it did very, very well.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was standing room. And we'll probably do that again this year, standing room, because
so we got a bigger venue now. We can fit like 20 more people.
Incredible.
Right.
Yeah,
really dynamic. You'd like it. And the land is so fertile around there. The Tor, Chalice Well, and all these white horses carved into the hillside, because there's chalk underneath the topsoil, and the chalk can be revealed, and they create these shapes those white horses have been there for centuries in the hills.
It's so mystical. Like there's another part. Go ahead, Victor.
And the energy of the feminine divine is so preeminent there. My wife has been teaching at the Goddess Conference remotely. She hasn't been able to travel, but she's been teaching remotely at the Goddess Conference every year. And the information and the love is so intense and so beautiful.
Oh my God. It's like a mini Sedona. It's like Mount Shasta and Sedona got together and had a baby.
Whoa. What a great way to describe it.
That is funny.
And so an hour away is this forest that I went to a couple of times that I love. And this forest called St. Nectan's Glen, right? And you go through the forest, and this is where all the stories of elementals, pixies, fairies came from. This is the actual forest where the names fairies, gnomes, pixies were created, right? Because those names existed all over the world, but they weren't ever called pixies, gnomes, fairies. This is where those names came from, right? And in this forest, you walk through it, and all there are next to this creek, shrines to pixies and fairies all over the trees, shrines and little areas. And you walk through it, and you go to this retreat center on top of the forest that I stayed at, and there's the waterfall there. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. We did a whole King Arthur rebirthing ritual in that waterfall, and that's where King Arthur came and met the Lady of the Lake at the waterfall. And basically he met her there, and then he made his way to Avalon. So all these amazing stories. And if you're there with us, you'll be immersed in that experience.
What's the weather like at that time of year?
We did it in August this year, which is perfect. September this year, it'll probably be sunny. Then there's scattered rains, but it might not be like really hot. It might be like 60 to 70 degrees, something like that.
Neil, I just have to go soon. Can we just move on a little bit to the next topic?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the cruise.
Right. Okay.
Is that what you're saying? Right?
Yeah. The Galactic cruise that we're organizing for December.
And actually, Raquel, I know you're still. Oh, Raquel just left. I was about to say I was about to invite you, but
we'll talk to her about it. Yeah, she'll be great on that cruise.
Let's All right, you want to speak on the cruise, Alan? Here, I'll show you some pictures of the boat.
Well, let's see some pictures. When I went on the UFO cruise, it was a fantastic journey with top speakers. You know, Travis Walton was there. And my favorite line about that, and I don't think he's going to be there this time, but we can all say we've been on a ship with Travis Walton. That was my line. But we are all going to be on a ship together, guys. If you sign up, we are going into the unknown through the Bermuda Triangle, down from, where do we start?
Near Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando, down the coast of Florida, around the Yucatan, Belize, Honduras. So we're traveling that whole East Coast into the tropics. And so who knows what will happen.
The first 5 people that sign up for this event get to have a kombucha with Alan in that jacuzzi. Okay.
Right. In the Bermuda Triangle.
So it's going to be great. It's 7 days, December 14th to December 21st. And basically it's called Portal at Sea. Yeah.
Yes. Portal at Sea. And no, I was just going to, the Hertox will be there. Who else do we have so far? Me, you, maybe Michelle will join us. Who knows?
Sarah Brexman will be there. I did ask Michelle, so we'll speak about it some more. And JK Ultra is going to be there too.
Oh, great. Yeah. Michelle could call in dolphins as we're traveling south into
that would be pretty epic, because there are dolphins out in this area too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dolphins and whales. And so how do people sign up? Because it's just really going to be a fantastic journey.
Right now, the website will be up in about a few weeks. So I'm just going to leave my email here. If you guys are interested, just go ahead and email me. And it's 7 days, right? So, and as I was sharing yesterday, that a lot of the people that are the foremost researchers of these areas are going to be with us on the cruise, right, Alan, including JJ and Desiree Hertak, that I would say is probably one of the best resources for real, I would say, true and conscious awareness around these pyramids and these structures we're visiting.
Right. They've done lots of archaeological and acoustic archaeological research on the Mayan structures. So we'll be with some real experts, just like we were in Egypt. They were fantastic. So they're going to lead us into these other sacred sites. And we'll also have a chance to do lots of lectures on the boat, lots of networking with each other, lots of just downtime together, looking at the stars at night, going on the deck of that ship out at sea is just a fantastic.
We'll do CE5 on the deck.
Yeah, we'll do some CE5, definitely calling in the ships as they, because they actually are in that area. That's some of the places the U.S. Navy has documented those encounters with those craft. So we're going to be right there, 2024, as it all comes together. So
and it ends on the solstice, which I think is a pretty beautiful time of year for us to be there together.
Great. Yes. Come to Orlando, meet us there. We're going to travel together. And you'll have everyone's email anyway who's on this call, because you signed up.
So I'll shoot an email out to everyone. And we're going to get into our next guest in just a second. But just to let you know about the next upcoming conference on Portal to Ascension is the Essenes in Ancient Judea conference. You can see all the speakers we have here. We have 4 + 6. We have 10 speakers on the Essenes in Ancient Judea. So it's a real big deep dive. We're not only going to talk about the mysticism of these scenes, the years, the couple of hundred years before the Essenes came, before Yeshua came, and how they're preparing for over 100 years for the return of a Christ, but also the esoteric awareness of the Essenes that connects to philosophies from all around the world, super mystical philosophies. We're going to have transmissions as well. My good friend Eugenia is going to be there, and she actually was in a scene in a past life, and she's kind of integrated that soul awareness now, and she does transmissions from the Essene energy, which would be very beautiful. Plus, we'll be talking about ancient Judea in general, what's going on in that area, what's been happening in that area. And something that I've been thinking about lately is how sacred this land has been to so many people for so long. Why is it the promised land? What is going on in that area? So we'll do an exploration from archaeology to like even a little bit of science, and of course, metaphysical awareness for the Essenes. And that's going to be Saturday, February 17th, and from 9 to 4 p.m. Pacific. So if you're interested, portalsascension.org, upcoming events, you can sign up there.
And I want to mention what the topic I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about the purity teachings of the Essenes. I was an angelic then, a male that looked sort of Palladian, and I remember them. So I'm going to roll out what were the purity teachings. I don't know if we all want to do them now because it's a lot of discipline, and a lot of that included things like no sex and so forth. And but it was to be able to get to embody that Christ-like rainbow body, to be able to get to that point, because there were those that wanted to embody that, and so there were certain things that you could do to achieve that and to maintain the vibration of the body, to be able to hold that without actually dropping the body, which a lot of these states you can't.
I can't wait to hear. Yeah, it's going to be very informative and just very unique event. Like this type of event, I don't think has ever happened. And you know what I do at Portal to Ascension a lot is when I want to learn about something, I just put on a conference about it. So it's not like I'm an expert. I'm going in here just like ready to learn. So there's we have some really amazing experts here and people that have had connections to the Essenes. So if you're interested, again, check it out on our website. And I'll send everybody a link as well to this in the replay email.
Fantastic.
I'm excited
that you are touching on many places and many topics that I'm personally very ignited by. And I feel like there's a lot of people here that were drawn here, not just to experience the ultimate star seeds, but to hear about these future events and webinars, because this is the culmination of that set point of our new beginning. Really, really makes sense. Raquel really brought it forward, Neil, that, this is your year. This is your year. You really stepped into it. And I just say, way to go. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a session with Raquel soon because I need some clarity on 2023 myself. And, it's interesting what she was saying, like, because I didn't even realize, like, how we've been talking about how 2023 has been challenging for many people. It's been kind of, it's a lot of things to move through. And it was right after COVID, right after all this density. It's almost like that weight of that experience is permeated through the world. And maybe that's what we're moving through on some level, right? All the things that brought to the surface.
For sure.
Well, and it was really inspiring to hear that, because I don't know about you. It's, we're all intuitive, right? So, I've been feeling 2024. It's one of those mixed bags. It's like we went through the dark night of the soul. It changed everything, but honestly, it kind of needed to. We needed to kind of stop, right, and stop and pause. But I do feel like that this is going to be a real breakthrough year, which means there's going to be still more obstacles, but then the payoff is so great. So there's a lot of, I see excitement and activity, but we've been through so many difficult times as a nation, as a world, that I don't even want to believe or trust myself sometimes. Because I'm thinking, it's hard to, like, well, I'll get excited when it all happens. But I keep moving forward and trusting the universe and knowing that that we're here now and we're supposed to be here now. But I do feel a big event is happening in the next year, and I think it's a series of events, and I think a lot of it has to do, it's a collective thing, and I think it's a response to the things we don't like, and then it's a positive side to it. What excited me, what she said was that not that we're all kind of rebels. If we really cared about being thoroughly accepted, we wouldn't have stepped out of our comfort zone and from our families and everything else, or our friends. But it was nice to know, wow, that we get to step up and people actually, get to listen to us, because, only people like us listen to us, but others have not had the ears. And it's so nice to hear that others are now willing to have the ears to listen to.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I think there's many people here that have been, some of them are new to some of this information.
Oh my
So
God,
this,
yes.
yeah, and that's what's really exciting to me, is to see how we're being utilized as a bridge for people that are new to this information, to help them navigate with discernment, to trust their own inner guidance on, where are the authentic beings who, can help bring through information that will help others awaken. And that's what really we're seeing. A lot of our speakers are doing that, each one in their own very unique way. And that's what's so beautiful here, is that I noticed a while back, probably like two or three speakers ago, somebody wrote in the chat that what she really liked about all of us here is that there's no competition, that we just love each other so much, and we appreciate the subtle nuances of our own unique blueprints. And we want to celebrate everyone here for having a unique soul signature and adding that to this collective container. That's really what makes that vibration. Each speaker is saying, oh my gosh, I felt the vibration when I came in the room. And that's the goal. Right. That is really the goal.
And one of the blessings I've been able to share in my day job is that people who might not have asked about these things in the past or needed some type of encouragement to move forward are asking.
That's true.
And that's a wonderful, wonderful gift.
I think we need more t-shirts. Many years ago, I was at Disneyland and I saw a very offensive t-shirt walking towards me. And I remember thinking to myself, yuck, I just read what that said, and I don't even want that in my field. And I didn't even know what a field was back then, really. But I remember thinking how offensive it was and how it made me feel. And how do you shield your eyes when somebody's coming right at you with words on their t-shirt? And I'm very inspired to see that the vision I had way back then, which was, wouldn't it be great if more t-shirts said things like love and compassion, or had a question on it that's an invitation to go deeper into remembering who we are. I'm very inspired by seeing.
Okay, I'll work on that. I'm a designer.
Let's do more t-shirt lines. Neil, maybe that's something you're going to work on this year. Just what you need, more, but a merch line, a merchandise line.
I've always fantasized about just getting a bunch of billboards all over the world.
Yeah.
I was in a mall, the San Diego mall, the outlet mall, I forget what it's called, at the border. And they had this huge thing right in the middle, and it said call to put your sign up. And I was thinking about it, but that'd be something cool, right? Do a crowdfunding campaign and just put billboards up everywhere.
That would be awesome.
Oh yeah. Instead of it reminds me of the old movie They Live, and where it would say obey.
Yeah.
Bye. But no,
you could do a t-shirt that says the new Declaration of Independence, all beings are created equal. There you go.
These are really great. I mean, to put that out there.
I feel that's definitely needs to happen.
And we're changing the language to the regular people out there. I mean, I noticed that, you're going to get, I noticed some people in chat. Thank you for making this a safe space, Neil. I do that as well, because people want to feel safe. And I have to say, I go, Cosmic Papa Neil, you do that. And it's important that we, not only that we make people feel safe, that we can communicate in a way, but that we also hold that environment of love and that love vibration.
And I do want to comment on that, Neil, that you caught what I was getting ready to send over. That it's not that we're trying to not let people have a voice, but when something doesn't feel right and our intuition is saying there's a little bit of ugliness that is in the chat, you just remove them and send them on with love, you know.
That's it. Send them on with love.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah. And you know, everybody starts somewhere, and that person, whoever the persons or whatever, you know, that people change, you know, they don't stay the same. There's still hope.
Yeah.
It's just, that's just where some people are right now. That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, how are we doing on time?
We're going to get into our next speaker now. So
Here
what
we
I'm going
go.
to do is I'm going to play the scenes trailer, the Glastonbury trailer, and then when the trailer's done, Tamara is going to be the only person on screen, and then you can go ahead and bring on Emily. Okay.
Okay, we'll do.
All right, let's do it. So first one up is the trailer for the scenes. Here it is.